Thank you all for joining.
Hi, everyone. My name is Nicole, and I am an Education Abroad Coordinator here at CSU. We're excited to welcome Semester at Sea. Thanks for tuning in. I will be answering questions in the Q&A. Feel free to type questions as we're going through. But I'm going to let Maddie take it over from here.
Thank you, Nicole. And thank you guys for tuning in. If you are curious what it's like to spend a semester abroad on a ship, then you are in the right place. My name is Maddie. I work for Semester at Sea and did a voyage as a CSU student. So have a lot of, I think, relatable experience to share. Like Nicole mentioned, if you have questions along the way, please just feel free to type them into that Q&A option, and we will get to them and answer those questions for you. So, all right, we'll just hop right into it here. Okay, so a little bit about Semester at Sea. So we are going to be a nonprofit institution. Colorado State University is actually our academic partner. So all the credits that you earn while on Semester at Sea are going to come from Colorado State University. So that's you will be traveling to 10 to 12 different countries over the course of the semester. So that is a big difference between spending, spending 4 months in one country. You're going to spend about 4 to 6 days in these countries, and then you'll get back on the ship and do it all over again. So kind of our program in a nutshell there. All right, so you can see here, this is our upcoming spring voyage. We are focusing in on that EU area of the world. Really cool, cool opportunities here. These are countries that we haven't gone to in a long time. So definitely an awesome opportunity there if you're interested in going abroad in the spring. And then we have our fall 22 voyage, which is also really unique because you will be going through the Suez Canal. And we haven't done that in a long time also. So these two routes, our operations team actually put a lot of thought into these. They are the most adaptable. Any changes need to be made. There are very close nearby countries that we have relationships with that we can divert to. So they're an amazing cultural experience, as well as, we put a lot of planning into them as well. So yeah. Right. So a little bit about our ship here. So we like to call it our floating campus. Essentially anything that you can find on campus at CSU, you're going to be able to find in one way or another on our ship, the MV World Odyssey. So you've got your classrooms, which you can see an example there in the top left. You've got 9 decks. I think 3 of those have access to the outdoor spaces, which is awesome. 2 dining halls. You've got your library, student union, medical clinic, mental health center, spa, gym, pool, essentially everything that you need. So it's a pretty luxurious ship, if I do say so myself. Okay. And a little bit about our community here. So this is really the secret sauce of Semester at Sea, in my opinion, is the community that gets formed on board. So you're going to have anywhere between 500 and 600 students on board. They're going to come from universities primarily in the US, but across the world. So all around the world, really adds to that cultural experience that you get throughout the voyage. So about 90% of those students will come from the US, and then about 10% will be international. Your faculty and staff will also be sailing with you as well. So your classes are taught in person, and they're going to be taught by professors. A good number of them do come from CSU, which is really awesome, but they also come from all over the world. And we've got our lifelong learners. They're going to be our adult learners on board. They have their own programming and things like that, but they really add to the richness of the community. And then you've got the crew, of course, who, keep the ship going, and you will definitely connect with a good number of them on board. They always remember your names. They're awesome. So yeah. ends up being about 900 people on board. So, all right, so a bit about academics. So first and foremost, we are an academic program, and we're going to offer a vast variety of courses on board. So it's going to be about 70 courses. They're going to range across disciplines. It can be any major and do semester at sea, and you can be any year in school as well. So most popular majors that we see on board are going to be our business majors, psych majors. Those are the two most widely represented majors on board. About 2/3 of our courses are going to be 300 and 400 level, then about a third will be 100 to 200 level. And all these courses, again, are going to come from CSU. So it makes it really easy as a CSU student to do semester at sea. Again, touching on faculty, they are going to be from all over the world. They have extensive knowledge and research in their areas of expertise. And then you can take 4 to 5 classes on board. So this will look like you are going to be required to take our one global studies course. It's required for everybody. It essentially just dives into the culture and history of the countries that you're approaching. So it's really, really cool, very applicable. And then you'll pick 3 other courses on top of that to take that you're interested in or that are required for your major. And then we do have our 5th class option. So that's, for example, like I sailed as a student, but I sailed as a senior and I needed to take 15 credits. So that is also an option as well, if that's something that you need to do. All right. Another really cool part about our program is the field classes that come along with your courses. So these are essentially going to be one day in country that you and your professor and your classmates go into country. You to see what you've been learning in the classroom. So, for example, we have oceanography is going to be offered on every single voyage. It's really popular for those oceanography courses. Their field classes will be like snorkeling in some exotic place. It's so cool that is like literally your course on semester at sea. It's really, really cool opportunity there. And then we have, and yeah, you can see those field class examples there. So like healthcare in Ghana for your medical anthropology class, that sort of thing. So yeah. All right. So now transitioning into what else can you do in country? So you've got those field classes that are required, but then what do you do when you're not in your field classes? So where you're going to either be, you can travel independently, or you can take part in a semester at sea field program. So those field programs are going to be really unique opportunities to get out into the community in one way or another. So they're going to span across interests. So say you're really into cooking. It's really common for us to have like foodie tours in every port. If you are into hiking, maybe there's a multi-day, like overnight trip through the mountains of India that you want to do. So they do span in lengths of time and interest and in price as well. So these are going to be additional fees to your program fees. So keeping that in mind. And then we've got the independent travel piece, which is exactly how it sounds. Essentially, you are free to get off of the ship and go into country and do what you would like when you're there. So there are a few stipulations there, but vastly, like if you stay within the country and you obey the local laws and customs, then you are free to travel independently as you wish. So yeah, pretty cool opportunity there. Really good confidence boost as well. All right, so what is life like on the ship here as well? You do end up spending about half of your time on board the ship. So we like to make that fun for you guys. So some of the things that are going to be offered during your time at sea are like you have your club rush opportunity. We've got intramural sports, there's sunrise and sunset yoga. We've got that gym on board. There's a bunch of like community games and board games and like cards that are always left and kind of circulated throughout Voyages. So, and then there is that club rush. So if say you're into photography and you want to join the photography club, or if you're just interested, then you will be able to do that, or you can start the club yourself. So a lot of options for you, just like if you're on campus. Okay, now we have our community programming piece. So this is going to be like ship-wide. Of big ones that we like to do are going to be like Neptune Day, Sea Olympics, where you are broken up into seas when you're on board. So you just compete against the other seas and for a day of events. We've got our alumni ball. We screen movies almost every night. Taco night, like stargazing nights. We definitely like to make you feel connected to the community. And, when you're at sea, you don't have Wi-Fi or internet or anything like that. So we want to make sure that your time is going to be filled with fun things to do. So, yeah. All right. And here, just to touch on our admission requirements. So it's a pretty easy process. So essentially we look for a GPA of a 2.5 or higher, and you must be in good academic standing with CSU. So we always like you to connect with your university before you apply. So once you start thinking about semester at sea, reach out to Nicole, and she will be able to let you know about CSU's requirements if you want to go abroad and what that looks like. So it's kind of like a just big circle where you have semester at sea, CSU, and then CSU is comprised of like your advisors, your academic advisor, financial aid advisor, study abroad advisor, those sort of things. So but the application is pretty simple. We just ask you some pretty basic questions about yourself and your background, and then we ask for an unofficial transcript. And then there is that optional student essay if you would like to share a little bit more about yourself. And that's it. So you can really complete it in an evening. It's pretty quick, very easy process, but definitely reach out if you have any questions about it. And we are happy to walk through that with you. So yeah, that is pretty much it. Kind of just a quick run through there. I do have some helpful links, and I would definitely encourage you can see our semester at sea URL here at the bottom. It's just semesteratsea.org. Our website is so helpful with any questions that you might have. Like, what do Voyages look like beyond fall 22? What kind of courses do you offer? What does financial aid look like? What are you doing about COVID? Like, I'm sure that's on everybody's mind, right? So that can all be found on our website. I know we do have a little bit of time here that we can open up for Q&A, or I'm happy to walk through the website, or however you guys want to go about this.
Hey, Maddie, we actually do have one question that came through. Thanks for asking, Jessica. Can you talk, Maddie, do you mind talking a little bit about the new summer program that's being offered this upcoming summer 22?
Yeah, that's a really good question. So that is something new that we are just kind of starting up here now. So I believe the first summer sessions are going to be next summer. So summer 2022. That application is open. And I'm going to stop sharing my screen here and I'll find that link. Let's see here. But yeah, that is a great question. Essentially, it's like a mini semester at sea. So, but there are some big differences. So your time at sea is going to be shortened. Those sessions are going to be about 2 weeks in length. And then we do have, we're going to be using a different ship for that. So we're kind of partnering up with a program called Peace Boat. They are a program out of Japan, and essentially we're creating cohorts. So it'll be one CSU professor per session, both from CSU, and you will be on board the Peace Boat with your cohort of your CSU professor and about 30 other students. And you're going to get 3 credits of summer CSU credit, essentially. So I know that was not super succinct. It's still even fresh for me. So let me see if I can track down that link really quick here. And I'll put it in the chat, but it's a more affordable option for sure. And
hey, Maddie, I've got a link ready to go.
Awesome.
At least on our end, which links to the main Summer at Sea Peace Boat page. Cool. But just like Semester at Sea, you'll also have to fill out an application through our portal. So one Semester at Sea, you fill out an application with them and with us, same with Summer at Sea. And I just built out the Summer at Sea page. So there's like some pretty cool information on that site that you can find more about. So let me go ahead and see. Oh, the question disappeared on me. Type answer, here we go. Okay, so I'm gonna send this to you all. Hopefully you got that, and hopefully everyone can see that link. And you feel free to schedule an appointment with me if you're really interested in Summer at Sea, and we can go over the credits and the professors that are teaching, how open your graduation plan, etc. But I just wanted to send that link in there really quick as well. And then there's another question that came through, Maddie, and it says, since there is no Wi-Fi or internet on the ship, how do students study or complete assignments?
Yeah, good question. So essentially your professors are also in the same boat. So they know that Wi-Fi is limited. And so you will not be expected to do research, for lack of a better term, like research heavy assignments. So a lot of your assignments are going to consist of readings. So you'll have like a textbook, or we also have a database that you'll have access to when you're on the ship to where professors can put scholar articles and things like that that they want you to read. So you'll have access to all of your readings that you need. But an example assignment could be, hey, read this chapter in your book. We're going to come in and discuss it, or read this chapter and then go into Vietnam and relate it back to the class, what you experienced in Vietnam, what you read in the chapter. Essentially, like it pulls in a lot of your personal experiences. They are compiled into your assignments on board. So you'll use like Apple Pages or Microsoft Word quite a bit when you're on board. And then you can you just print your assignment, and then you'll turn it in when you go to class, or you can put it in like your professor's like mail slot on their door, things like that. So definitely not like a traditional class experience. It's more discussion based and more like journal entry type things. So but then in terms of like beyond the classroom, without having that Wi-Fi reliability, you will have a Semester at Sea email account when you're on board. We call it C-mail, and that is going to be an email account that you can use to email fellow Voyagers on board, email your family and friends back home, and that's going to be your primary form of communication. We also have phones in every room that you're welcome to use. And then there are, once you get into country, I personally always, maybe like the last day in port, would try and find some Wi-Fi somewhere and like FaceTime back home with someone. So things like that. That tends to be how the communication goes. But yeah, good question. I mean, that is definitely something that it's a bit of a question mark, given how easily accessible Wi-Fi is here for us. Like you're all on Wi-Fi right now, probably. So maybe not, but Chances are probably. So good question. Yeah, let's see. Might have
And
some.
so, Maddie, we are coming up on time. We do have some more questions coming through. So I encourage any student to follow up with Maddie or I. You can do so. I sent the link to schedule an appointment with myself, and then I will send out Maddie's email to you all post the fair. So you can reach out if you have questions specifically for semester at sea. So thank you everyone for joining. Hopefully you're tuning into some additional sessions throughout the week. Thank you so much, Maddie, for coming and sharing a little bit about semester at sea with us today. Hopefully this is the beginning of all of your study abroad journey. And thanks for tuning in. And thanks again, Maddie. Everyone have a good rest of your day and hope to see you at a future session.
Yeah, thank you so much. Thanks for tuning in and thanks for having us, Nicole.
Bye, everyone.